to intro the show, you have to intro the show. I gotta do things.
Why do I always have to do it?
You don't always have to do it.
Well, why are you making me do it now?
Because
You always tell me at the last minute.
I know.
Like I had no time to plan.
No time to prepare.
You
always tell me you're better on your feet. You're better on your feet. You always say, "Throw me to the fire, Drew. I like it like that."
All right, let's do it. Welcome to The Price is Right.
Oh,
Oh no,
so
wait,
close.
what's the show called?
So close.
Da-da-da.
It's called Trailer Trash. I mean, talk.
I don't know.
CouchSoup Trailer Talk. Welcome everybody.
It was the other two. Those the other two.
Yeah.
While Drew is banging away on excrement. What do you call it now? Do you just call it X? Tweets?
I still call it Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just called Twitter.
I
The
haven't
URL
updated
is
the
even
app,
still Twitter.
The URL is still
So-
Twitter?
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
I don't go there anymore. I'm done with
I'm
that.
never
Is the
gonna
URL still
update.
Twitter? I didn't notice that actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's just absolute, just hodgepodge gobbledygook.
Worst thing to do for business 101. All right, let's go live.
No, we are live.
Oh, we are live. All right, cool.
The live
Hey.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm a little
Um,
hot in my ears here. It's a little hot.
hot and fresh
Like
off the
it's a little-
kitchen.
Drew is busy, so I'm going to take over.
I
want
tweeted.
to-
Mm.
you done? You
Yay!
excreted.
Squeeded.
You excreted.
Yeah, about to sneeze.
Screted. You screet. You did something. Proud of you,
Welcome,
buddy.
Pagan. Welcome, Steph. How are y'all doing?
What about me?
Hi, Drew.
Welcome.
Do you hear something? I hear something else.
I'm
Is there
done.
another person here?
I'll intro the
Ah.
show
I hear
now.
something in my ear.
I'll intro the show now. You
Oh.
can go. You can stop.
Thank you.
Welcome to Trailer Talk, everybody. Today we got a great episode lined up. I'm super stoked about these two trailers. The Last Airbender, Avatar. It's finally here. And this isn't the Shyamalan version. At least I don't think. Maybe
Do you
it
know
is.
it's the most expensive
We
movie
don't
ever
talk
made?
about
This
that
is the
one.
most expensive movie. No, this
This
is a
one?
TV show. Oh no, Shyamalan's movie is the most expensive movie ever made.
One of them was
Shyamalan.
PJ's got.
I never want to
Shyamalan.
Wires crossed.
remember that movie.
The Way of
ever.
the Water. That was the most expensive.
buddy,
That's an old one.
That's
I know. I come in on these
PJ
things.
back to bed.
What is the way? So we're not doing Way of the Water.
No.
oh no.
There goes all my
Oh,
notes.
He's
no.
made notes about the wrong thing.
Wrong Avatar.
Wrong Avatar, buddy.
Oh, we're not doing the thing with the guy on the head one.
Yeah, the head arrow.
Oh,
The arrow.
motherfucker.
Oh.
I was gonna draw an arrow on my head, but then I was like, that doesn't go with like the second trailer. So I was like,
I wanted with
Yeah,
the blue
you would've-
people.
Yeah.
There might be blue people in this.
Seriously, that's what we're doing?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Airbender. He bends air and other elements. There's other
And
elements in
other
it.
Earth.
elements.
fire, water.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
So-
Element Bender didn't have quite the ring, so.
yeah. No, you're
Yeah.
right. It is kind of like, yeah. And then we're going to talk about, I'm super excited about this. Ghostbusters teaser dropped for the sequel to the sequel to the remake of the sequel. Anyway, it's the new one, Frozen Empire.
Has they ever been as good as the first one?
No, it'll never be.
I mean,
a
like,
better
that's
Ghostbusters
just
than the
never
first.
as good.
But listen,
what's your favorite scene from the first Ghostbusters?
oh god, there's too many to like really even. I mean, probably when Venkman gets slimed in the hallway.
No, mine was
So good.
Mine was with Bill Murray, and he had the
Oh,
cards,
he's
and he had the blonde
staring
girl
at me, Ray.
and the student,
What?
the two students, and he was doing the ESP cards.
Oh, and he's like zaps and he's
Wow,
dumbfounded.
you got it again! The other guy actually gets it and he goes, "No, I'm sorry." He's like, "Oh!"
and his gum falls out of his mouth. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
When someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
But we're not doing that movie either.
What?
We're doing new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, new Ghostbusters.
Yes.
But
New
listen,
Ghostbusters.
it's exciting. I think we're gonna get a little glimpses of the old cast. So hopefully the comedy's still there. But before we talk about those awesome trailers, I kind of want to talk about another thing that just kind of blew my mind this past weekend.
Size of your penis.
That always blows my mind. It's always exciting when I see it. But Marvel's the 33rd movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, unfortunately produced the lowest opening box office
Finally.
weekend of them
Wow,
all.
I am shocked.
With
Color
only
me and like.
I just
so
want to say
much
I've been
shock
calling
right
it.
now.
I've been calling
No
it for
way.
a year now.
Only 47 million. The movie cost
Only-
275
What
million
movie was
to
it?
produce. The Marvels.
Who cares?
It will probably, just based on that opening, not recoup its budget. The
It'll
budget,
do it
the money
overseas.
it needs. It needs about 700 million to make profit. And just for context, like a year ago, Black Panther opened this weekend for 181 million domestic.
Wait,
opening.
Black
I just
Panther
think
only
people
opened
are
a year
done.
ago? Oh, the second one.
The second one, yeah.
Yeah, the second.
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
I
mean, they used to be event movies. Now they're like every other Tuesday.
It does. Yeah. Well, I think the oversaturation has done them in. But I mean, like, why this movie? Why now? Why?
Because it looks like a TV show.
Okay.
It looks like they're going out of their way to be everything to everybody, and it just looks like something you'd see on TV. Yeah, I saw a little of it. And listen, maybe the advertising wasn't good. I don't know, but I wouldn't have gone and seen it anyways. How come we didn't do the trailer?
We did.
We did Marvels?
Yeah.
Was I not here?
Yeah, probably.
That's probably why I was
I
not
feel
here.
like I don't know. Like I think like
LEK
I'm all for like
is calling
a
in
female-led
with-
superhero film.
Yeah, we'll bring
but
her
at
in
the same time, like I don't know. Like I just don't like Captain Marvel. I like what was it, Miss Marvel? And I like the other character. I think they're great. I love those characters.
Is
They
this
match up really well. I
that
just
girl?
don't
What's
like
her name
Captain
again?
Marvel.
What's the lead, the blonde?
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson.
Larson.
She's had a rough run in the MCU world,
Don't
hasn't she?
really like
I
her
think-
character.
No, the first movie made.
It was a great. I liked the first one
There
a
always
lot.
seems to be a little bit of conflict or something around her character in that.
I feel
Is
like
there
it
not, or
comes
am I
down
just
to.
me reading headlines.
I mean, I think a lot of people have been like, I'm not one of them, but just totally like against Brie Larson, always hating on her.
Is that what it
and
is?
Yeah, and
She
I don't.
gets a lot
I
of
feel
hate.
like and I feel like the main thing too is like maybe it's just because it's a female-centered film, and like I'm like, oh, cool, that's awesome. But I feel like not calling anyone out, but like I feel like a lot of fans are like boo-hooing on the fact that it's a whole female-centered.
So it's Wonder
movie,
Woman,
you know.
Black Widow. What was that?
Yeah.
Jungle one. That was awesome. What was that
Jungle
one?
One.
Not Jungle One.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I can't remember. I'm drawing a complete blank now. It was
I
a
think
great
mostly it's
warrior movie.
Yeah, I think it's
What was that
because
one?
of the multiple women.
Mhm.
I think like
think
Wonder
so?
Woman, you're like, wow, Wonder Woman
Yeah.
surrounded by a group of
Well,
men. Save
I mean, I
Okay.
saw a guy complaining
So-
about
so-
Kamala Khan's like infatuate or love for like
which is
Marvel,
wild.
like
I love her
Marvel, and I'm
character.
like, have you not seen like a girl like I was that child like freaking
Mm.
out like the Jonas Brothers? Like that's how we are, like,
So
or that's how
put-
kids are. Like,
Yeah, no. So, but put yourself in Marvel's shoes for a second. Like for just 1 second. Marvel gets everybody's crapping on Marvel. How come
Mhm.
there's no lead in like female lead superhero movie? What's with Black Widow not getting a female lead superhero movie? And then they finally make Captain Marvel a female lead superhero, Black Widow female lead superhero, and they don't perform. No one goes to see it.
Yeah.
So everybody's bitching about like, why don't you put a female in a lead in or an all female cast
Because
superhero
they ain't
movie?
make it-
And then
yeah.
they don't, and then no one shows
No
up to
show.
support them.
Yeah,
so-
make it good though, you know.
Well, why have you seen Captain Marvel?
It's 11,
No, but I
12-year-old
don't like
boys
her
that
character
they're-
anyway. Why would I
Well-
go and see a movie because I've seen the first Captain Marvel
Mhm.
and was like, oh, so I have no interest in seeing the second one. I have
So
no
maybe
interest
it's
in
just the
seeing Kamala
story's
Khan's.
not there.
I
Maybe
like
we
Kamala
blame-
Khan. I
Well,
love her. I think
actually-
she's so cute, but like I just don't like the characters, and I'm over the fucking I don't know. I'm over the superhero movies.
Oh, you guys are all copying me now.
I want to
Over the
see it.
superhero movies.
I'm
like,
wanting
I
to
want to
see
see it
it.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks fun. This
It
looks
does.
fun. I actually
I
read
like the
some
villain,
reviews that
too.
are like, this is a sharp,
Mhm.
fun. This is actually better written than Ant-Man, but has the same kind of
Mhm.
humor of that film. It brings back some of the lightheartedness. It's not like end of the universe stakes. You know,
Yeah.
it's more grounded. So it's sort of like they're everybody's bitching about over here, like, oh, why does it always have to be over this? And then they pivot and do that,
Yeah,
and
I
then
feel
everybody's like, well, why did it have to be like that? And no, I bring back this.
But I
Yeah.
think it's
Bullshit.
yes, I agree with you. But is it not a bigger thing? Like, look at Scorsese's movie. That thing bombed.
which is
The
upsetting.
Kill the Flowers one, like that
I
was
still
need to
dismal.
see
that.
Man.
Yeah, that was dismal. They're just not going back to the theater in droves.
Maybe, but then there's other movies that are just crushing it, right? I mean,
Like-
everybody
Taylor
showed up
Swift.
to
I'm
the
just kidding.
everybody showed up to the theater to see Taylor Swift.
Not as much as they thought they would, though.
No, that
No,
did-
it was a little.
Still
It was 10
crushed
million
it.
below what they projected. They thought it was. They're going. It was. They that they were going. It was going
It
to
is-
blow out of the water. I'm not arguing that.
No,
but
no,
I'm
no, no,
saying is
I'm
that
just-
they projected it should be bigger.
Yeah, but that's like projecting. Yeah, I hear you, but I mean, for a concert movie to be the number one movie.
I could speaks to my argument.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like to put it in perspective, like the most amount of money a concert movie like that would have made in previous times would have been like max like 20 million over its run.
You're not
her movie made like 95 million in one
but you're
weekend.
not comparing apples to oranges. Talking about movies, I think it's too expensive now. The popcorn and everything, it's too expensive. Everybody's got 85-inch TV screens now, surround sound. They can do it in their home, keep their phones on while they're watching the movie. The experience of being in a movie is lost on people now.
Yeah, you could be right. I don't know. I still like the movie going experience.
Oh, I love it.
Same.
Yeah, I if I had the ability to go to more movies, I would. It's just I have a kid and it's really difficult to get babysitters sometimes. But is the problem here the recoup of funds? Listen, 10 years ago, $47 million film opening would be awesome. Does that make sense? Like the fact that this had to make over like 90 million on its opening weekend is astounding, right? Like that is a lot of fucking money on an opening weekend. They need to make them cheaper, right? Like,
did you watch that movie?
What?
That Indian movie I told you to watch?
No, not yet.
It's only $38 million.
Right. So it's sort of like you're seeing like these art house and these or Blumhouse films making the horror films that only cost like 50 million to make.
Even less than that.
Yeah, and even less. And they're making 80 million on open weekend. And everyone's over here and then Marvel's making movies at 200 million plus films, and they're only making 40 million, right? So there's a problem here where they're investing too much money, and maybe the bubble has popped, right?
I think their story is too big, like as far as like whatever they have in plan for, which who knows what it is, for this phase or this segment is just too big, and you've got
cut
so
back
much
a lot, didn't
Marvel.
Didn't they cut a bunch?
Maybe I don't remember.
Yeah, the strike happened. So the only movie
did cut. Yeah,
only superhero movie coming out next year is Deadpool 3.
That's right.
Oh, nice! Can't wait for that though.
And Echo.
The fact
the
that
TV
you
show.
just said that the movie has a 3 behind it is a problem right there.
Yeah, but it's Deadpool.
No, man,
So.
fucking
But it's
Wolverine's
Deadpool
gonna
and
be in it, and it's gonna
Hugh
be class.
Jackman.
Yeah.
Now
Class,
I'm still
can't wait for
hoping
that. Sign me up.
an animated Nolan North as Deadpool, but
Yeah, that needs
And
to
Nolan
happen
North
in the
cameo as
multiverse.
Deadpool is
Ryan
the only
Reynolds.
thing that's missing.
All right, so we got another remake of a remake of a where are we in this whole change? Is it a sequel or a remake or a
What are you
remake
talking
of a
about?
sequel?
The
Avatar.
Airbender.
Oh,
He's
you
trying
pivoting?
to-
Oh,
You're pivoting.
a remake.
I'm pivoting.
Pivot.
Let's
Well, I mean, it's interesting that.
And who is this studio? Who's making Avatar?
We're still talking about this. We haven't. You pivoted, but the rest of the conversation hasn't pivoted. So you made the switch.
It's up
but
to
the
who-
audience and the rest of the everybody here.
I'm going to
hasn't-
file this over,
hasn't-
and who gives a fuck?
Yeah, well, we did because we actually got pretty passionate about it, which was actually pretty
We did.
solid.
I think it's a good point that you made, though, Drew. Like, there's a lot of complaints about the lack of female-led films, and then when the female-led films are in the box office, they tend to not do as well, with the exception of Barbie, which did exceptionally well.
Well, that also had Ryan Gosling, though. I mean,
It
let's be
did.
honest.
I mean,
Yeah, they're not
yeah,
building.
fair, but Margot
They want to
Robbie,
make
you
it for
know?
their audience, and then people
Margot
bitch,
Robbie.
and then they're not making it for their audience.
Yeah.
Margot.
So I feel like maybe know your audience. I think the audience maybe was just misaligned with that. I think it's nice to give little girls a superhero though. Thank God.
Oh, for sure.
And there's
100%.
more diverse superheroes, and I'm like, yes, more of this, please. I just have
Yeah.
I just personally have no interest in this film.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well,
I mean,
you got to go support it if you want it.
Yeah, Miss Marvel, the show was great, and I hear she's great in this film, like the Kamala Khan character. So,
Yeah.
I just feel bad. Like it's kind of it's the same going back to Scorsese. Like when I said like I hope people go see it because I want more films like Scorsese to be able to make more films like this. And the same thing with Marvel. I'm bummed that more people didn't support this film because I feel like it was probably a fun film. I feel like it'll have more legs when it goes to streaming. People realize how good of a movie it probably is, and that it probably didn't deserve the vitriol and like the no shows.
Do you?
But
just a quick question on that though. Like, do you think that the film would have performed better if there wasn't a strike? Because obviously the actors can't promote their films while a strike was happening, and it only did whatever 47 million in the box office. Maybe if it hadn't coincided with that strike, maybe there would have been more publicity about it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's been a lot of there's been a lot of talk about that, like a lot of films that didn't do well recently, and a lot of people chalked it up to like Ghost Protocol, for example.
Sure.
Was another one that got hit because of the strike.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Steph, were you gonna say something?
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, I feel like strike or no strike, I feel like what was the last before Guardians? What was the last? There was like another Marvel movie that didn't do well, and I feel like that one had like a lot of promotion. So I feel like maybe it wasn't the strike, and maybe it's just in general like the audience. I don't know, but.
Yeah.
Was that Quantum one or Ant-Man or what was that one?
Ant-Man.
Yeah. All in the Game has made a really good point and said the Marvels, just like the Killers of the Moon, had no business costing $200 million plus.
True.
Budgets need to be reined in. I actually think that's very, very good point. Like budgets are stupidly crazy now for these kind of films.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's a superstar in it, and the people that have to put it together, you get it's tough.
It's tough, right? And then everybody's complaining like special effects are so scrutinized now that like if they're not spending the money to make it look awesome.
Didn't Marvel get a whole bunch of heat because of how they treat their special effects artists as well, and they hardly even pay them? Yes. So I think maybe they need to adjust their internal budgeting.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done with this conversation.
I'm glad you are. Well, I mean, let us know in the comments what you think. If you think the MCU is in for a world of hurt and superhero films in general. We'll see. I mean, next year it'll be interesting with only one superhero movie coming out from Marvel. Obviously, I think DC has James Gunn's Superman coming out next year, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the strike hurt that. But we'll see. Next year could be a superhero light in general, and see how
it'd be good for them.
How the economy the film economy kind of handles that, because they've been the driving force behind movie theaters doing well and studios doing well, like Disney and whatnot. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Okay, we're gonna jump into, based on, because BJ's frustrated and we just don't like Grumpy Bear on the stage with us. So we're gonna go and we're gonna jump right into Avatar, The Last Airbender. And then we're going to bring in a guest of the show after we watch the trailer. Lily Kay, she's going to come in. She's going to gush all about it because she's probably, like Stephanie, she's the super fan. I like the show, not a super fan. But we're going to hear from two mega fans.
All right. Tell us about this trailer, Drew.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an adaptation from Nickelodeon's animated series, Avatar, The Last Airbender. Obviously, if you're not familiar, it's about Aang, who's a young Avatar. He's the last of the air tribe, I believe, but because he's the Avatar, he can actually wield all four elements. It's show run by Albert Kim, starring Gordon Cormier as Aang.
It's a TV show?
Kiawentiio, yes. Yeah. I'm going to butcher these names, guys. I apologize. Kiawentiio, I believe, as Katara, Ian Ousley as Sokka, Tamlyn Tomita as Yukari, Daniel Day Kim, who a lot of people may recognize from Hawaii Five-0 and whatnot. I think Lost as well. Fire Lord, he's the Fire Lord Ozai. Paulson Huang Lee as Uncle Ira, and Amber Midthunder, who you may recognize from Predator, the Predator Prey, the Prey film, is Princess Yu, and Danny Pudi as the mechanist. George Takei as animation. Nope, live action. And it'll air February 22nd, 2024. Let's jump into it.
All right.
Whoop. Counter down.
Yep. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Ooh.
The comment. Time.
Yeah.
Time is a funny thing.
Fire Nation.
No,
The past.
not the Air Nation.
Oh. That looked like a
So
flashback.
pretty.
Ah!
It all gets mixed up.
That's cool. There he is.
Oh my goodness.
There's only one way
Yes.
to keep it straight.
Looks good for a TV
Always
show.
my
remember
goodness.
who you are.
Yeah, it does. Nice.
Oh,
Clear the way.
Oh.
Oh,
Ooh, that was cool.
holy. That was a cool thing.
there it is. I can't help but think never-ending story every time. I
Oh,
see
every time. Every time.
Every time, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Who put this out?
Netflix.
February 22nd.
Yeah, that's
That
coming
looked
in
good.
hot.
Shit.
That looked good.
All right. Let's bring in. That was a pretty solid trailer, guys. Let's bring in Lily right now so she can hear us all gush, or in PJ's case, crap on it maybe. Let's see if she's coming in.
Almost.
Almost.
I can hear you. We can hear you, but can't see you.
I don't know why is that happening, but
It says your cam is already in use. Which
is it? It's not. It's in use in here, so I don't know what's happening.
Any other applications open right now?
No.
Or any softwares open?
Zoom or Google's or all
Zoom
those.
or OBS or Google.
Nope,
anything like that? No.
nothing at all. And maybe I'm just, it's just my mindset showing off in camera.
You try and turn it on and off again, or plug it in and out again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hold on.
Yeah,
You figure that out.
All right.
That looked really good. I'd watch that. I mean, it had moments of like, oh, is this a kid show? I had a couple moments of that because they didn't give me enough adult. The makeup was cool. Like I'd want a little more adult vibe, but it was a little heavy-handed on the kids.
Yeah.
But it looked really good. I mean, I would give it an episode. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I like the first. I like the first one that everybody shit on.
You like the M. Night Shyamalan one, the
Yeah.
2010 movie?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
I enjoyed
All
it.
right.
I enjoyed it. Everybody shit
That's a
on.
hot
Like
take.
I'm not allowed to say I like this.
I've never seen anything Airbender related. I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
I know it's an animation, and I know it's anime, and that it's very popular. I haven't seen the movie, the M. Night Shyamalan one. I have not seen that one. I don't think that anime should be turned into live action. I don't think that works well.
Tough.
I think that there's a lot of stuff that you just can't portray and you don't have the same energy. However, in saying that, after seeing that trailer, I'd actually be very interested in seeing that because it looks like they've done the effects very well. Everything
something
is very
shouldn't-
beautifully shot.
Something shouldn't translate. Like Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner, never be live action for that one. We should stay as a cartoon.
Pretty sure they're doing something with Roadrunner right now.
Yeah, it's like a
Hot
live
take by
action
PJ.
or animation, 3D animation.
talking-
I think.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with it,
Yeah.
but they are doing
A
something.
coyote that can get smashed by rocks and live should not be live action.
Don't you feel that Acme is
love
really
Wile E.
Amazon now? They buy everything from Acme. It shows up right away.
Yeah.
Amazon is Acme.
Hot take by PJ. Yeah.
That's
A Roadrunner that can set.
Roadrunner.
No,
Coyotes
I love
after
that
you.
guy.
never mind. I can't.
Roadrunner.
I'll stay on it
There's
forever.
Catches
something
you, you
about
threw-
Roadrunner right now. I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah,
Like, they're
it
trying to
was
remake it or something.
Warner Brothers dropped it. They had everything made, I think, and then they dropped it, but now they're trying to sell it. Netflix wants to buy or Amazon wants to buy, so they're going to have like a screening for them
Right,
to watch
okay.
it so then they
Right.
can decide. But yeah.
There she is. Hi, Lily. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me and see me as
We can
well?
hear Anthony.
Yes.
Yes.
Here, NC. You're in your dark cave. We love it.
I am, yeah.
Stephanie, before we get to you, Lily, I know Stephanie's also a super fan. What do you think? What did you think of this teaser?
I love it. I mean, it's one of those things, it's hard to recreate, like everyone was saying. It brought such an amazing element before with the original. And like I remember watching that as an adult, going back and rewatching it, and it was totally like a kid's show, but then you're watching it and you're like, oh, this is not really a kid's show. Like there's a lot of adult, like as far as adult elements go, like conversations and decisions that the main character Aang has to make, and he's a little kid. So it's like watching this, like stylistically, they've captured everything perfectly, like looking at all the worlds, everything looks perfect. Costumes look good. Casting looks good. I'm a little like iffy about Sokka. Not really sure about that one yet because that character is such like a great like humorist. So I need to hear like
That's true.
this guy talk just to be like, okay, is that him? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But I love the casting for Azula because a lot of people were kind of giving her hate because she's got this like cutesy kind of vibe going. But I'm like, no, she can bring the Azula like charm that's fierce and terrifying, and
It's one of the most
so-
expensive Netflix shows.
I don't doubt it.
15 and up.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
Dang.
lot.
like to be the showrunner. On that
yeah,
one.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's percentage you negotiate.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and the showrunner Albert Kim, just to put it in context, he's done shows like Nikita, Sleepy Hollow Show, and Leverage. So it doesn't have a huge he's not coming from like a pedigree of like.
The showrunners are hard to get right now.
Yeah. So
How
I
do you get
mean,
your hands
well,
on?
and just to put it in context, and maybe Lily, you were going to bring this up, but the original creators of the original Nickelodeon series, Michael, I think DiMartino and Brian. Blanking on his last, Brian K. They originally signed on to do this. They were originally signed on to EP and showrun, and they left because they didn't feel like Netflix was going to follow through on their vision. So just throwing it out there. So, but I think, I don't know if did this trailer satisfy that fear that maybe they were going to go in the wrong direction? Lily, I mean, maybe this is a good point for you to jump in and give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah. No, it looks great. Like, honestly, frame to frame, like I could tell exactly every moment that was taken from the animated, and it's done beautifully. Like, the casting is on point. The fact that they cast Paul Sun-Young Lee for Uncle Iroh is just the best thing ever. I was so happy when they announced it. I was like, oh my god, yes, like that's just perfect. And Daniel Day-Kim as the Fire Lord is just. It's just so good. I'm so happy with it. And honestly, I've been waiting for this trailer for a long time, and it didn't disappoint at all. Obviously, the worrying factor of the whole thing is that it's 10 episodes, and I don't know if they're going to be longer episodes than what we got in the animated one, because obviously the animated one was like 30 minutes or 25 or something like that per episode. But if it's longer, we're good. If it's the same, if it's the same time, I'm a bit worried how we're gonna get to a certain point, because it's obvious that they are gonna cover book one, which is water. So there's a lot happening in that 22 episodes, 23, I think the first book is, or something like that.
Yeah. I hope it's not like. I hope it's not a movie that's been stretched out into 10 episodes. I hate when they do that. Like,
well, that was like the first movie.
Yeah, there's so many series right now. You go, that should have just been a movie. That should have just been a movie.
Well, I mean,
like
the original was a series.
Did you ever watch From?
Yeah.
It should have been a movie.
No, I don't know. I like it as a series. I like the teaser.
I like it as a series.
Yeah, 20 episodes in season one. And they were all
episodes,
like 25-minute long episodes.
Yeah. The original, the cartoon, the Nickelodeon cartoon. Yeah. So this only has, what did you say? 8 to 10? 10? Yeah. So
10
yeah,
episodes.
I mean, I think that's
fast.
That's a fear, right? The series followed. The idea is that they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna follow the original storyline. But like, the original show was made for like a cartoon, right? It's a cartoon, so there's a lot of like off narrative, off narrative like adventure stories that don't really like. There's a lesson to be learned, and the character Aang like learns something from that, and he carries that on, right? Like, it's character development, but there's not like obviously, it's not story driven, right? From a like, we're moving forward, right? So it'll be interesting how they weave in, because some of the best episodes are filler from the cartoon, from what I remember. It's been a hot minute.
A lot of times,
yeah, exactly. I mean, because they're just fun and kind of goofy too, right? And you're kind of like, you kind of need those moments, and it'll be interesting to see how they weave that together, like like if they're going to continue that same narrative and some of that goofiness, if that continues, because the show was pretty not goofy is maybe the wrong word, but it was silly at times.
And then very
which is
dark.
fine.
Well, it's for kids, right?
Yeah. And it got really dark and really fast.
And then yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know the 2010 left a bad taste in a lot of your mouth, except for
we're not going to talk about that. That doesn't exist.
Because I never watched the cartoon. I never knew anything with the animation.
Yeah.
So I had nothing to upset me.
Well, because the premise of this idea of like someone who can bend elements is cool, right? So like whether bending fire and water and air, and earth, that's a really cool concept. And the fact that there's like these tribes, I think that the movie kind of did wrong was sort of like they kind of pulled away from some of the martial arts aspects of that from the airbending.
I mean, it was whitewashed.
Yeah, and it was a bit whitewashed. Do you think we just got a really quick glimpse of some of the airbending, but from what you're seeing, are you happy with how they're portraying it? I know we saw a couple like some fire bending, a little bit of airbending from Aang.
So as an airbender, you can just push wind around.
Well, like you can manipulate wind
stuff over.
Yeah. So you saw him in the trailer, like using his glider.
I'd rather be in the fire family.
Fire is pretty dope. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but fire versus wind. If I give you wind, it's gonna make your fire bigger.
Well,
right.
I mean, I think what's cool the show does, and I'll pass it off to somebody else to help me answer this, is what it does is because it throws out those concepts where it's like, oh, well, I have water, I can easily just put out fire. But then the way they bend and how they manipulate it is pretty fascinating on how they battle each other. And that's what the show I thought did really well, was like take those tropes and kind of up in them, to say like, oh, you think water would just cancel that fire really easily, but fire found ways to really battle water.
Taught us anything.
What did Pokemon teach us?
That the elements are just like, because you were like, oh yeah, but water's gonna put out fire, and then like they have this big battle and it doesn't turn out that way, and you're like, I thought that this was the way.
So how did fire protect itself from water?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. You just have different types.
Yeah, a wall of water is if you can harness a wall of water, fire is not going to get through that. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you have lightning, then
yeah. Well, I mean, just thoughts. I mean, did you see any cool martial arts? Is there anything from this that you're sort of like, man, that really captured the show? I know, Pagan, you haven't seen the show, but is there anything here that you were sort of like, that was dope, I'm in, or that's kind of not really, this is not really my bag?
Like even the opening, I think it's beautifully shot. Like the way we get like big like diverse colors first, so like you'll see a lot of ice, and then you'll go into like the fight, like where there's like shooting fire and everything. I thought it was just beautifully shot. And then there was a lot of influence here with like Asian culture and tradition. So there was like a lot of martial arts, and there was also like Asian dance at one point in part of the trailer. With makeup and stuff like that as well. Now, I don't know what world this is based on. I don't even know if this is based on the Earth and current realities. So I don't know if they're just drawing inspiration from like Asian traditions or Asian culture, and then they're just putting it into this world. But what I've seen so far, I'm very intrigued. I think that's really nice, and it's really cool. And obviously what I know about Airbender, I feel like that's probably more accurate to the anime. But it makes me want to watch it. It makes me interested to watch it rather than watching something that was completely whitewashed in 20 whenever.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm definitely interested. I think the whole trailer was beautifully shot, and they had some really cool effects, like the wind effect where he knocked back a whole bunch of people. I thought that was done really well. And then there's like this flying fluffy thing, and I'm on board. It's giant and it's fluffy, and I want to put the blushing version of it, obviously.
The never-ending story.
The sacred
If
opera.
you give me like giant fluffy cute things, I'm in. You know.
Yeah, right.
But no, it looks dope. Looks dope.
No shortage of that from the cartoon.
No.
But then before I even want to watch this though, I want to then I don't want to watch this without watching the anime.
Oh, you should watch the anime for sure.
You should watch it, yeah.
If you're going to watch this.
I'm on the fence on that.
I'm not going to do it.
Are you going to? Yeah.
No.
You're just going to jump in the show? I kind of... I'm on the... Because I've only seen...
Really?
I never finished the cartoon. I'll be honest. I never finished it. I could...
You missed some great stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I keep hearing, I keep wanting to go back. But now I'm kind of like... If this live action is as good, or if this looks as good as it could be, I don't know. I might hold off on finishing the cartoon and see how they land the plane on this, and then go back and compare.
I've also I think I've categorized it. It's an anime influenced animation television.
Anime,
it's not actually
it is.
anime.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, apologies.
No worries.
Don't make that mistake again.
Yeah.
I won't.
Thank you.
That's misappropriation of culture.
We're professionals here. Learn your shit.
I apologize.
What's she talking about?
Doing this anymore.
Stuff.
Oh no! Don't spank me.
God.
Again, you missed. You missed. Do it again.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah. I mean, does anybody? I mean, again, Lily, was there something in the trailer that you thought stood out to you as like something you're real excited that they're bringing to life or in live action?
Well, just like many others, I had a big crush on Prince Zuko, which is like just admitting it right here. And his casting is very good. It's like, I mean, everyone looks fantastic. So I can't wait to bring his storyline to life, because I think he is one of the most complex characters in there, and he has the best character arc in the series. So if they translate that well here, then we're going to be very lucky with it. So I'm very excited about that. I will also say about the goofy and silly stuff in the original one is that I was very worried that they're not going to bring in the cabbage man. Oh no, my cabbages! My cabbages! And he's here on IMDb in the casting, James C. as the cabbage merchant, and I'm like,
yeah, you can't have it without him.
Perfect. I'm already happy with it. So
yeah,
happy days.
Yes. The cabbage guy's here. We can all go home happy. That's awesome.
Yes.
Stephanie, what about you? What's really driving your love of this?
I mean, so first of all, like the Kyoshi Warriors were like a big favorite of mine, like in season 1. Like that was just fantastic. So to see that actually being put into this,
give us some context for
so
people.
they're
perfect makeup.
Yes, so they're all the ones that have the white makeup with the red, and they've got fans, and so they're more martial arts based, and they can do a lot of crazy shit with those fans, and it's a beautiful like dance too in some senses. So that's
but they're
one
not
thing.
They're not like air, fire, water. They're a separate army.
They're just like, civilians. They're
think like badass ninja warrior kind of vibe, right? Like they're kind of like assassins in a sense.
Yeah. And in dedication to a previous Avatar.
Avatar, yeah.
Or inspired by. But then also Zuko facing his father. We saw a little bit of that in the trailer.
I know.
Because Zuko has a scar on his face. For any context, Zuko has a giant scar on his face, and this is kind of like how he got the scar facing his father as a child. So to see that happen is also kind of be like, it's going to be very traumatic and hard to watch, especially in live action. But those are like two things on my end.
Yeah.
That's how I got this scar facing my father.
What is that?
What am I looking at? Right there on my nose.
Oh,
yeah. A little hole?
Kind of. Oh, there's a hole?
I had a chicken pox. One last one. And I back talked to my dad. Whack! Knocked the chicken pox off. And now I got a marker.
Knock the chicken pox off.
That's how hard it hit me.
Those came off.
I think
like
you can knock it off like that.
Well, when you hit hard enough, things come off.
Ow!
He also got
next time I'll use a hammer. That's why PJ is who he is, folks. You know what? I'm kind of excited too. This is it'll be interesting. I'm again. I hope Netflix. They did I hear a good job with One Piece, and so I think that was kind of like they're dipping their toe in, and then
that's true.
This feels like if they can carry that on like translation from anime to live action, it'll be cool. What was the character? He was blind, and he was an earthbender.
Tough.
Like that, I always remember that in the cartoon being like so badass. Like I wanted, I wanted that character. Like I obviously I think that's chapter 2, right?
It's 2.
She's in chapter 2,
yeah.
So that's something I'm looking forward to because I always love that character from the cartoon. And then the other thing, it'll be interesting to see if they explore from a live action because we didn't really get it in the cartoon. At least I didn't finish the series, so maybe they show a little bit of this later. But did they ever show like Fire Nation, like how they took over all the other nations? Because that's kind of the idea.
Right?
A little
bit.
I mean, it depends on where you left off. Like,
okay.
Because there was a lot going on without spoiling anything. Like,
I think it was in the last season where they just let us peek into it a little bit, but it's not like hugely there. It's more like talking about it and whatnot. They can do that here. So
I think it'd be cool if they kind of showed like almost like a Lord of the Rings sort of like flashback where you kind of get a sense of like what was before and then why the motivation behind Fire Nation doing what they were doing, and because I think that was fascinating and how they kind of like how everyone came to fear them, right? Like what they did and how they built that their ships and their army and their people and how they trained. Like I always thought that like how they militarized it was very fascinating. So I'm hoping there's a little bit more backstory that they can kind of dwell on there. So that'll be very interesting. So any predictions here? Is this going to do well? Do you think people are going to come out? Is the fan base going to say like, yes, let's do this? Even without the original creators, I'm on board. This looks great. Or are people still kind of in the like scared from Shalom's treatment, or kind of not really into it?
This is going to appease the foreign markets, all the territories that Netflix bought down in Indonesia and the Southeast. Yep. It's going to be big there.
All right.
They don't need it to be big here.
Okay.
That's a fair point. I will also quickly point out before answering that question is that the creators left because they opened up Avatar Studios, and they are having like a bunch of projects lined up, including the adult Last Airbender group having a movie. I think Korra is going to be back. I believe that they are making other Avatar related TV shows as well. Kyoshi, yeah. So they left because of that, because they want to focus on that completely. And I think those will all be animated again. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's the real reason. There might have been like creative differences as well. Who knows?
Yeah, that sounds like a very PR way of like, hey, we left on good terms, but no one leaves. Like, no one. Yeah, that feels very. But listen, like, that's great that they are continuing to do what they do best, which is make great animation in that world. So
exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't think you need to have like original creators attached to something. I think like it's always helpful, right? It's always so great. Like
it is.
They created like The Last of Us and like Neil Druckmann's involved. Like, that was great. So I think it's always helpful. But as long as the fans of the show get the air, pun intended, the air that the creators of this show were fans of the animated series, I think as long as that's translated well, I think that it will do well with the fans.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Accurate, yeah. Okay.
And listen, nothing will ever be as bad as the movie. You can't do worse than that.
Stephanie's like, well, it can't get worse, so let's just go watch this.
You can only go up from here.
Exactly.
Yeah. It already looks like 1,000% better than the movie ever did, to be fair. So I'm like, to be honest with you, to answer your question properly, Drew, is that I think it's going to do really well. Because there are just so many fans of the series, and the fact that it is finally so heavily Asian based, it's like that. It's 100% true on PJ's side that it's going to do really well on those platforms. I think that's 100% certainty there. But yeah, I know one thing: I will definitely watch it and go the entire thing.
Same.
Nice.
Same.
I will show you this because I prepared it. This is like one of my most prized.
That's so beautiful.
That's pretty.
It is, right? It's so, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I need it.
I'm surprised it's not one of yours. I thought you were going to be
some.
like, here's this thing that I drew earlier.
Yes.
Like,
the thing is, I gave it to them, so I'm like, I don't have it anymore. I can't show it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, nice. Yeah, for those listening in a podcast, Lily held up a print of the cartoon Avatar, and so it was, with all the characters on it, it's pretty cool. I think this will probably do well. We'll see. I hope the acting's well. The production looks solid. I just hope they kind of get the characters right, and they get it has to feel adult enough to work, I think, for the US market, but then still keep all that everything else that's going right. Like it kind of needs to level up a little bit, and we'll see if they can
listen. If they show the bloodbending, then you're already there.
I think
that's gonna be brutal.
Conveyed that. Like the trailer doesn't look like a kids TV show to me.
Oh no,
that looks like something that's marketed to everybody.
So
I think so far with the trailer, just on that, it looks good.
This and the original animated series, I think, are going to do well for Netflix. I think, especially in the months or the weeks leading up to it.
Right.
Like, I think
100%. I think this is gonna make my brother watch as well, because he just refused to watch the animated one, even though I told him many times that it's like one of the best things that he can watch. But to be fair, he did that with Rebels as well, and now he watched the entire thing, and I'm like, why? Like, just fucking sit down and watch it.
Nice.
But he's definitely gonna watch this. That's 100%.
Yeah, converts one at a time.
What's up next, Mr. Drew?
Yeah, all right. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to watch the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire teaser. And we're gonna say goodbye to Lily, and thank you for coming on and
thank you for having me.
And geeking out with us.
It's always
today.
lovely to see you.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
we will
And
be-
Pagan, I love your background.
Oh, thank you. Do you? I'm
Yeah, I
pointing
do.
to a beautiful framed art piece that was Lily's
Yes.
work, which is the Kratos art piece right here.
Oh yeah,
it's
I see
There's
it.
Stray Kids there, but Kratos right here.
Awesome.
Love you all.
All right, we'll be
Thank
right back.
Lily.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Lily. And we're back.
And we're back. All right, guys, everybody. Frozen Empire, just to set this up. The Spengler family from Afterlife is back. They return to where it all started, New York City and the firehouse, where they will probably team up with the original Ghostbusters, who've developed a top secret research lab to take care of busting ghosts to the next level. But when discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters, new and old, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. Directed by Gil Kenan of City of Ember, Poltergeist, and Monster House. Written by Jason Reitman, who wrote and directed the first Afterlife sequel, and Gil
Son
Kenan.
of Ivan.
Yep, correct. And starring Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Kamal Nujani, Patton Oswalt, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts,
Let's go.
and more. Let's do this.
Woohoo! All right, okay.
We saw this one. Wait, I
pressing
don't have
play.
it ready yet. No, I'm not ready yet. Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
I love the music already. Ooh. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Summer in New York.
Heat alerts in effect for New Jersey, feeling like 100 degrees.
It's feeling
This
like
looks
Jaws
awesome.
right now.
I know. That's a beautiful shot.
Oh. Oh, uh-oh. That's like my worst fear. Oh, and you're in a
I
cage
know.
one
Can
too.
you
Oh
imagine?
God.
Could you imagine? No,
Ugh,
because I don't go
girl.
up in those things.
No.
Oh, now we're in the Jaws moment. Lovely. Wow, that's coming in fast.
This is like
Oh,
day after
shit.
tomorrow.
Oh God.
Ice spikes?
This
That is
does
not a
look
way to
like
go.
a day
I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh.
No way. Did lightning just strike the original building?
Oh. Oh. There's the sign.
This looks
Yes.
like
The
a day after tomorrow.
firehouse.
If they had
The
not done
piano
the
keys.
Ghostbusters in there, I would have thought it was
There it is.
Woo.
Acto 1, baby.
It's spring. Okay.
For the first time in New York history,
Aw.
people froze to death.
Oh God.
Middle of July.
What is
Ooh.
it?
The death chill.
Oh.
The power to kill by
Oh
fear
my
itself.
goodness. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Your
The 4 of
veins
them.
turn to rivers of
Okay.
ice. Your
Oh,
bones crack.
girl, you're done.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
what was
cool.
What the
that?
heck?
As your own tear ducts
Oh
freezing up.
no, girly,
Oh,
no.
no.
Like, literally scared to death? So cool.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Huh. Hi, Ghosty. Please be nice, Ghosty. Same reaction, Paul Red. Same reaction.
Paul Rudd doing his Paul
What the
Ruddiness.
fuck
I
is
love
that? It's got horns? What the?
I know,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
The horned ice age is coming.
Is she a goddess?
Are you a god? What did you guys think? Is the fourth or fifth? I mean, it depends. Do you count the female-led Ghostbusters? If you do, this is the
Oh,
fifth Ghostbusters.
I was like, where's the
don't-
fourth one coming from?
Uh,
I watched that
um,
one. I don't know if I'd count it because, they're not in it, but. Oh, well, I guess they're kind of in it because the statue's in it. I don't know.
I know,
Do you
right?
count it?
We don't know where it lands. It's sort of like forgotten. It's
It
sort of like
is.
that thing we don't talk
They've
about.
covered it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. But are you excited? Ghostbusters is back, guys. They brought the cast from Afterlife back, and they're in New York. It's feeling like kind of Ghostbustery again. They got the piano keys. Ecto 1
mhm.
is here. We got some ice ages coming for people. People are freezing to death. What are we thinking? Are we in?
The beginning
Look
of
good.
this definitely, like, if they hadn't shown, like, when they like pan up and there's like the fire station with the Ghostbuster symbol, if they hadn't shown that and like they had just done that as a teaser, that looks like a Day After Tomorrow film.
Oh, for
Like, I
sure.
thought this
It
was
does.
gonna be like
For
an
sure.
apocalyptic style, like, oh god,
Yeah.
we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So it seems like kind of dark. And then he's like, yeah, so many people died in the summer in New York. And I was like, oh, it is dark.
Oh, lovely.
It's not like not like children dark. It's like dark.
No. Well, the original Ghostbusters,
they can't come back.
Pretty fucking scary.
It is.
It's
I just
terrifying.
assumed the modern versions would I actually haven't seen Afterlife, so I assumed the modern versions would be more like kid friendly.
Yeah.
This looks fun.
But the original in 1984 was PG, which is pretty kid friendly as you can get.
Yeah.
True.
But here's my problem.
Okay.
When I watched the original one,
yes,
you had grown men, playing at finding ghosts and their pseudoscience. Back then, it was really tongue in cheek.
Right.
And I didn't need kids for the humor. The adults gave me enough humor in the juxtaposition, and they were supposed to be taking it seriously, serious equipment, serious problems.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Hollywood started in the mid 90s and 90s, started putting kids in everything, and I for cuteness and for getting bigger markets there. And it just, when I see a kid shooting that ghost thing, I'm out. I'm out. I don't know why. I miss those 4 grown men stumbling around with those machines, and they've never recreated that, and that's my problem.
I would agree with
because I started the first Afterlife, and I was out like 15 minutes in.
Okay,
I
haven't watched it.
It's worth finishing.
I would agree with PJ with like the style of the first film. It was.
Give me that.
It was part of the struggle because they were like, we want to be taken seriously, and everyone was like, huh, okay, go.
Yeah, but once you put kids in it, you're like, oh, okay, right? Like as soon as you get the kid element in, and I know why they do it, but I'm just a little over it. It's like every couple nowadays is Salt and Pepper. Like every couple in every TV show. It's just like, come on, guys.
Right.
I don't mind the addition of like Finn Wolfhard and everything like that. I haven't seen Afterlife, so maybe I just have to watch that and double check it. But I liked the vibe of the first one, like the struggle of like setting it all up and becoming like a real thing. The second one as well was class. So, I mean, it was really good. Sigourney Weaver is just what a peach. I don't know. I look, it looks fun, and all the original Ghostbusters are here, so like it's got to be a good time.
Almost all. Yeah.
Well,
So a couple are dead, right?
The current living
Ghostbusters,
Ghostbusters, sadly.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool that they've gotten basically like the team back, and Ecto 1 and everything. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And to be fair, the original cast does come back in Afterlife. If you finished it, you saw it.
I do know that, even though I haven't seen it.
I did finish it.
Yeah, they kind of come back in, and there's a nice homage to.
Yeah, I did see it. I remember now. It left that much of an impression.
Yeah, and Stephanie, what are you thinking?
I really like how this trailer kind of hooked me in, because I haven't also seen Afterlife. So for me, like, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's going to include that or not. Like, I was just kind of going in and like, this feels great. This feels like every like 80s movie. It feels like it's going back to the originals and just that feel. And like summer in New York, like totally that's what you picture. Like kids playing in the street with the fire hydrant and like burst open, all those different factors at the beach. And then I'm like, oh, this is starting to feel like Jaws. Like before anything went wrong, I was like, this is Jaws. This is the first Jaws. This is everything about that. Even the girl like taking her sunglasses down, everything's like, it just, to me, like it was really interesting. Now I haven't seen Day After Tomorrow, but then I saw like memes about it all over, and I was like, okay, I get that, I see that.
Really,
so
you should go watch it. It's an interesting.
I should. It does look good. But I don't know. Like I feel like nobody's safe. I feel like some people are gonna die that we don't want them to die. Like from the original 4.
Okay.
Like I don't think they're safe, obviously. Like, I mean, even if they're going to kill off kids, and then the fact that like all these people have died in New York, so then you're going to have like when they do save the day, like all of these dead people, like I don't think people are going to really come back. I don't know. Like
they're
I'm just
going to
curious.
use a time twister from Harry Potter and bring everybody.
Time twister.
I would be sobbing if they killed off one of the original Ghostbusters.
Oh, I would too. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe Bill Murray. Maybe I don't know. Or Dan Aykroyd. I don't know. But
I love Bill Murray. Yeah, he's had some bad raps lately, but I fucking love that guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I would still like to see Sigourney and shit, what's his name?
God, I'd
Rick
love to
Moranis?
see Sigourney.
Yes, Rick.
Yeah, Rick Moranis comes
Because he
back,
always
yeah.
had some great, like he was the great neighbor. Like you're just like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
That's a good
like
point. How come
He's-
they
he was
didn't
the-
bring
yeah.
that back? That
Yeah.
would be class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had
And he got to be a Ghostbuster in the
He
second
did.
movie.
That's right. And the secretary that they had, right? She's in Afterlife. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
she ended up marrying Spangler. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. Annie
Yeah.
Potts. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
love to see
Yeah.
them two back in there. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It would be good. Yeah, I'm where you guys are all at, but I guess a little bit more excited, right? Like,
Okay, fair.
I feel you on the kids thing, right, PJ? Because I think when you have kids, it's very hard for a movie to, and you brought this up,
To be
Stephanie,
adult.
to it's hard for a movie to put kids in a dangerous situation because I know they'll never kill the kids.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like
There's no
I
risk.
never
Yeah.
right. There's no risk, right? So I never fear. I'm never in their shoes. I never feel like there's a moment where they're in any sort of peril.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where I have a problem. I don't really mind that they're there, but the moment they are in a situation where they could die,
It just shifts the movie. You know what I mean? And I think you hit it on the nail. That's the thing. The risk is gone.
the risk is gone, right? Yeah. So because they would never do that, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not going to kill off, but not that they would ever kill off a main character either. So I can dance around it. I get both sides, and then I also feel the side where it's sort of like, is this like I'm struggling. This to me has a little bit of Force Awakens going for it, where the Force Awakens I was super excited about, but after the movie's over, you're kind of like, okay, that was basically a rehash of A New Hope, right? Like,
Yes.
Wait, are you saying something bad about Star Wars?
orphaned on a desert
it's
planet,
the copy and paste.
learns to have their powers, and
Ridiculous.
saves the day by destroying a Death Star.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just writing something down.
Yeah,
Just
just
writing
writing
something
something
down.
down. Yeah. No, listen, I can be critical on Star Wars
12:58,
and love it at the same
November
time. Just
14th, 2023.
Ju-
Drew
just
said he
finally
didn't like
happened.
something.
just
about
how I
Star
can be
Wars.
critical
Finally
about
happened.
Ghostbusters and love it at the same time. My worry is this feels kind of like a rehash of of the first movie in a way, right? Because in the first movie the reactor explodes too and lets all the ghosts out anyway. But so I'm hoping there's enough new here, and by new I hope that the villain is at least new. We have they're not bringing back Gozer like they did with Afterlife, which felt a little cheap. But I like that there's a new villain. I like that it's set in New York again. I like that we're getting like Ecto-1 back in New York City doing its thing, and the vibe of that, because what was great about the first two movies was New York was a character, right? It wasn't just a setting. New York was part of what made that movie great. Like the setting was part of it, right? It's what brought everything together. It housed it. So I think if they can get that vibe again, that'll be good. I'll always be sad that these will never be comedy-driven films like the first two. These are now more story-driven, drama-driven, action-driven films.
Yeah.
Even Paul Rudd isn't enough to of a comedic force to be what those first two movies were from a comedy. So those are my kind of like watch outs when I see a Ghostbusters film. But when you hear when you hear Ecto-1, when you hear the keys, and then when you hear the reactor, power on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's something about like it's just like that wave of like it's like when a lightsaber ignites. You're like, yes. Like you just get excited for the fact that there's going to be more Ghostbusters on screen, and they're going to be busting
watch
ghosts.
the original again.
They're so good.
The
They're so
originals are
good.
Although
so
soon
good.
it's all Christmas
Yeah.
movies in my house. Soon, like real
Oh
soon.
no.
Like that would be considered a Halloween movie.
I mean,
so
it's
I'm not
snowing
allowed
at
to
one
watch
point.
Yeah.
Does that help?
No,
The second movie's-
the original.
Yeah, second
Ghostbusters,
movie's kind of in
Like,
around
I might have to watch
Christmas.
by myself.
Yeah, I might have to watch it. Just
She must just be lining up them Hallmark movies. I think there's
Oh,
only 100
Oh,
new
they're already
ones this
playing.
year.
easily.
They're
yeah.
already
I
playing.
mean,
Love them.
Yeah. Have you seen some of those like spoofs on every Christmas Hallmark movie?
Yeah, love them.
Yeah. I saw something. It was like, come back home for Christmas. We're going home to Christmas. Mr. and Mrs. going home for Christmas. Like all these like different things. And it's like, oh.
It's a great. It's a great
I
superhero.
might
I'll
have
to
my
send it to
mom
you.
here for Christmas, so you get to see the female version of
Oh,
me.
no.
Oh my goodness.
I can't wait.
Little taller, bigger beard.
Bigger beard. I can't wait.
Santa.
Hey.
All right, Recos, what do we got?
Yeah. Well, what do you got? You want to go first?
I've been not finding things to watch and not liking a lot of the tropes of late. And I just wanted a good old fashioned good versus evil, good guy, bad guy, pay your consequences movie.
Okay.
And I found it. I never watched this movie, never heard of this movie. First one came out in 2014.
Okay.
And now there's 3. I've watched 1 and 2 back to back.
Equalizer.
Yes.
Oh, I've not seen it. I really want to watch that. Denzel Washington.
With Denzel Washington is so fucking good.
I've heard about this.
It's just a good old fashioned revenge movie.
I knew it.
There's no tricks. There's nothing. It's just
it's so
you
simple.
did bad, you die.
Yeah, totally.
God, it's good. Even Marisa was watching it last night. She watched 2, and then she just put 1 on. Like, I got to watch the first one now.
Yeah.
And she was just like, "This is just. I just love this.
Something
this
satisfying
good old
about
movie.
watching bad guys just get their comeuppance.
That is that's good though.
Yeah. So I got to watch 3 now.
Did you see the third one?
No. Is it a letdown?
I don't know. I don't know what I wanted out of it. But
1 and 2 were just carbon copies of each other with a different setting, a little less complicated.
Yeah,
well, then
both good. I'll watch.
This is
3.
pretty much If you like 1 and 2, you're gonna like 3. I think.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it.
Go see Denzel murdering folks. Love it. Equalizer. Where it's on? Did you watch it on any?
My
Netflix?
thing. I watched it on my thing.
On your thing. Yeah.
It's on Netflix though. As far as I know, like my family has watched Equalizer recently. And if it's not on the one that you have, get a VPN or something, and then and then check it out somewhere else.
Good in. What about you guys? Any recos?
I have a reco that's like a documentary, like a Netflix documentary thing. There's 4 episodes, and it is the case of Suring versus Haarsma. And it's about a very grisly kind of murder in the 1980s in Virginia about a couple, and it's basically a he said, she said kind of thing. And I just feel like it was very well presented, and it's really interesting.
My girls like those. I'll watch it.
Yeah, there's parts where you're like, oh, okay, well, I believe, this side. And then there's evidence on this side. I'm like, oh, fuck, now I believe this side. And they're like, well, now I don't know what to fucking believe because I really want to believe one or the other. So, very good. It's 4-part episode, and I think they're about an hour long each. And it's called Suring, Soering, Suring versus Haarsma, on Netflix. Very good. True crime documentary.
Nice.
I like it.
What do you got, Steph?
I just finished Loki. I kind of binged it all, and now I'm mad that I binged it all because I thought there was more episodes, and I'm like, wait, we're already at the end? Okay. So, that's honestly, I think out of all the Marvel series, that has been my favorite by far.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm still behind on some of the stuff, same with Star Wars. I'm just not there's not enough time to get caught up.
That's true what happened.
But this new season was actually really great, and Ki was like, oh my god, he's adorable. I love him.
It's
hard
he's
to
not doing him anymore. Loki's done. He says he's not going to do any more Loki.
He's been doing it for 14 years.
14 years. He says, I'm not doing Loki anymore.
He's 29, and then
it just means he wants more money.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I was going to say, does he like money? I'm sure they'll give him more money.
Yeah.
What do you got, Droodle?
No, go ahead, Steph.
Oh, I was just going to say I won't spoil anything, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
So. Have you binged all of the seasons, like season 1 and season 2?
Oh yeah, I watched season 1 when it came out. Right when it came out. I should have rewatched it again before this, but yeah, no.
I watched the last one just to get into where I was.
Yeah, you kind of needed that. The recap didn't really. I was like,
I skipped it.
The recap didn't do enough.
No, I know. Yeah, it needed to be like a 10-minute recap, I think.
Yeah,
I agree.
All of those. Yeah.
Loki's a good reco, and we did a lot of great coverage on CouchSoup too. So if you're like Steph and you just finished binging, we got episode recaps on CouchSoup.com, as well as we have a series recap coming out on as a podcast on Watching Now. So on our sister podcast for CouchSoup. So you know what? I haven't done a whole lot of consuming content lately, but I did so nothing really like what I'm watching right now to reco, but something I am going to watch that I'm super excited that is back. For All Mankind season 3 is coming.
Oh, yeah, you recommended that before.
Yeah.
When is that launching?
Yeah.
The first episode might be out. I'm not sure.
It's alternative history, right?
Yeah, it's like revisionist history. Yeah. So the first season ponders the idea of like, what if the Russians landed on the moon before we did, right?
Yeah.
And the idea is that it would have kickstarted us eating the ass even more to fight to win the next race, right? Yeah. So it actually accelerates our space program, and so instead of in the 80s us just taking shuttles above orbit to the space station, there's like a whole like mission to Mars, right? And they actually go to Mars.
Well, you know that Russia didn't go to the moon. They weren't working on the moon first. You know where they were sending rockets to?
The U.S. soil.
Jupiter. What? They were trying to get to Jupiter.
Why the
fuck? You ever seen that documentary? No,
that's not real.
Hey, look it up.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
They're trying to get to Pluto. That's like Jupiter's like far. That's crazy.
Yeah. Why the fuck would they go to Jupiter first?
Huh.
That doesn't make any sense.
The first
but prove me wrong.
To say, even like For All Mankind, if you're not sure about it, the first season is just incredible. It'll fuck you up, but it's so good.
Yeah, and the second season's just as good. And I'm excited. I mean, the acting is just so good, and the third season's about them colonizing an asteroid because they're
still going at it. They're going to Ganymede. They're sending rockets out in 2030 to Jupiter.
Like they must know something that we don't. They're like, there's shit on Jupiter. You got to get there. We got to go. Well, I bet the rings are pretty rich in resources. But yeah, so that's my reco for All Mankind. If you're into space and you like that sort of like really great drama, go check it out. It's an Apple TV Plus show. And that'll do it, folks, for our show. That's it for today. Unless anybody else has anybody they want to give a shout out to. As always,
you can. The Crown's coming back. So
The Crown. Crown. The final season, right? That'll
part
be good.
1. Yeah.
Oh, of course, part 1. Yeah.
Well, come by CouchSoup. Come say hi. Sign up. Do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
We want your love over there.
We want you. PJ siphons it like he's like he's a love vampire. That's why I look the way I do, white and gangly.
Energy vampire.
Yeah.
Lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of great stuff with daily articles. And then our community is vibrant as ever on Circle. Once you sign up free, or if you want to support us through a paid version, jump on into our community circle where we're hanging out there and nerding out there. And as always, again, I mentioned Watching Now is a Loki recap episode coming out. Screen Smash is a weekly game show. Not game show about games, about video games that aired last night and will be on YouTube on Friday. So check that out as well. And then our TTRPG show, it's our role-playing game show that is awesome. You're going to have to check it out. I think is back. If it's not this week, it's bi-weekly. So it might be the next week when it comes back. So that's a great show, but you can catch up on episodes 1 through 4 right now on YouTube. So until next time, guys, thank you very, very much. Thank you, Pagan. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, PJ. Even you. Yes. For joining us today. That was fun to nerd out with you guys on these awesome trailers. And we will see you next week.
It's always fun.
It is.
It is always fun.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I love you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.